College Game Day is covered by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And in part by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Working our way top of the hour, the Maze Rage here in Michigan. Denard Robinson's going to be in there someplace. He's at every Michigan sporting event. NBA Sunday, reminder, the Mavericks and Knicks tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC. A chance to not only see Jeremy Lin play, but our Rachel Nichols with an exclusive interview with the new Knicks sensation. You can see it during coverage of the game, 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Magic Heat also on ABC. Nuggets and Thunder on ESPN at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And Syracuse, the number 2 team in the land, takes on Rutgers. That's tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN, ESPN3. You can see it on the Watch ESPN app as well if you happen to be out and about during the day on Sunday. Showed you how impressive New Mexico was in the Mountain West. They've just beaten Steve Fisher's San Diego State team. San Diego State on the road against Air Force. Hadn't lost 3 games in a row since 2008. Michael Lyons had 27 for the Force, up by 6. Xavier Thames lays it in. San Diego State down by just 3. Under 30 seconds to play. Tim Shelton gets open for the layup.
Shelton gets in there and scores. He gets his double-double, but that's not enough.
It is not, because with the Aztecs down 2, Thames got a shot for the win, and for the first time in 20 years, Air Force beats a ranked team. New Mexico, as a result of this, now has a 2-game lead on the field in the Mountain West with just 4 games to play. Big day for the Lobos. Kansas State and Baylor, in case you missed it earlier. Pierre Jackson and the 10th-ranked Bears. Jackson pulls up, knocks down the 3. In the ensuing possession, Angel Rodriguez would find Jordan Enriquez, and Kansas State takes the lead.
Too easy. In this zone, they don't play any defense. You see Pierre Jackson get into the lane, and Quincy Miller misses the putback to try to win the game. Too many turnovers, bad defense, and Perry Jones III did not show up again.
57-56, K-State gets a huge road win. Missouri against Texas A&M. Hadn't won in College Station since 2001. Tim English would eventually get him in, and they moved the ball beautifully. Missouri up by 8. Shot 40% from 3 in the first half. Continued to shoot it well, pass it well as English hits it again.
Well, they continue to pass up good shots to get great shots. And when you've got guys like Flip Pressey and Michael Dixon that can score but love to create, look how they get the ball into the middle. They very easily could have taken that shot, but found an open teammate. Great chemistry, great team, and they're playing terrific in Coach Hate's first year at Missouri.
71-62. Told you what Alford did in that red jacket. Boy, Drew Gordon had himself a day, Digger.
Drew Gordon knows how to get it done. A big double-double this weekend. He's had 44 points, 37 rebounds in 2 games.
He went 27 and 20. There was a stretch of this game where he got, it seemed as if he got every rebound on both ends of the floor as New Mexico ran away with it. 65-45 for the 6th straight game. The Lobos defense holds the opponent's leading score to single digits. 65-45, New Mexico, always tough in the pit. They're tough everywhere right now. Here in Chrysler Arena, they've dimmed the lights, waiting on the emergence of the Wolverines, hoping to snap a 6-game losing streak at the hands of the despised and loathed Buckeyes, their arch rivals. Lights going down. They're hoping it'll be lights out for Ohio State. Oh, see old Brutus is hanging around in the crowd. Aaron Andrews with Michigan head coach John Beilein.
Coach, in your last meeting with Ohio State, you said you felt like your team went for the home run, instead keeping it simple. What do you want to see this time around?
Hit singles. I think we went and if there was 2 guys there, we went into those 2 guys. I'm going to score over both those guys instead of just pivoting and hitting the open man. And we saw it. We saw it on film. We saw it was happening. It's tough to tone that down. And now we have an emotionally charged evening tonight with a great crowd. We got to find a way to play, play with a lot of heart, play with a lot of courage, but you got to play with a lot of brains as well.
And with this emotionally charged crowd, your kids are excited as well. What's your message early for them?
I'm going to tell them to go for it. I'm going to tell them, really, I know that's a mixed message, that I'm telling them to, settle down. But I mean, we have been talking about being champions. We're talking about champions in life. That's what really the end game is, champions in life. But while you're striving for a championship in the league, you're learning a lot of those life lessons. So we're doing that. that. And right now, if you are 4-9, we can't talk about being champions right now, you know, in the regular season, which is huge still in the Big Ten, because that was the real determinant of who the champion was for years and years. But go for this now. You're 9-4. You deserve it. Go for it. But when you go for things, you have to think what you're doing as well. But don't play with reservation. Play hard. Play smart. We say it every day.
I'm ready to go. I don't know about them. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Aaron. Thank you very much.
Aaron, John, trust me, all the 12,700 plus in Chrysler Arena are ready to go. There was a visceral boo when the Scarlet and Gray took to the court. And just a few moments ago, earlier in the show, we told you that the UConn women were going for their 100th straight home win, and it is now over. St. John's and UConn, 56-54 game. The Red Storm in the final seconds on the road knocked down the three to get the win. And St. John's knocks off UConn, denies Gino Auriemma's team the opportunity to win 100 in a row at home, 57-56. 99-game home court winning streak comes to an end. Michigan has a 14-game home court winning streak this year. Got about 10 seconds. Who wins it?
I like Michigan. I think they'll find a way to get into the gaps and into the middle, Coach.
I agree with you. I think Jordan Morgan is the X factor. He gets points in the paint, control the boards. They get it done, Michigan.
Fight that team across the court. Show them Ohio's here, Dan.
All right, Reese, thank you. Yeah, as they refer to Ohio State up here in Ann Arbor, Ohio is here. And the Mason Blues, you can see, as Reese said, they are fired up and ready for a big Saturday night here at the Chrysler Center. Welcome to the Infinity College basketball tip-off. Going to be a great night of basketball. Two of the top teams in the Big Ten, two ranked teams and two teams with hopes of winning the Big Ten regular season championship. Number 6, Ohio State, and number 19, Michigan. Let's show you the top 6 in the Big Ten as it stands right now, and it's anybody's race. Ohio State and Michigan State are tied. Michigan is a game back. Michigan State, by the way, is at Purdue tomorrow. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ann Arbor. Dan Shulman and Jay Bill. Is going to be a fun night here tonight. How big is this game in terms of the Big Ten picture?
Nowhere in no conference is the regular season as important as it is in the Big Ten. And for both these teams to be fighting for a Big Ten championship, it makes this a great game to watch. These teams fight for this. They work for it every day to be able to compete for a championship, and they've got it right here.
How about the last time Michigan won the Big Ten championship? This guy was a senior at Duke. It has been a while. Who do you like in your one-on-one?
Well, I think it's going to be about rebounding. Last time these two teams played, Ohio State just worked Michigan on the glass, especially Lenzel Smith Jr. He did a great job on the glass, getting 8 offensive rebounds. He wound up with 17 points in the game. One of the Michigan coaches said this is going to be a street fight on the glass, and I agree with that. And then it's going to be about the point guards. Aaron Craft, I think the best on-ball defender in the country. He's got 49 steals this year. When he is guarding the ball, that's the best in the country, and they're able to take those the other way. Trey Burke, just a freshman, is truly outstanding, Dan. Averages over 14 points per game. He can shoot the ball from deep. He's got a great hesitation move. He can go either left or right. He's going to have a battle on his hands with Aaron Craft all game long.
Let's keep it going. It is time now for tonight's starting lineup, brought to you by Michelin. Here's PA announcer Bob Vergils.
At guard for Ohio State, number 4, Aaron Craft. At guard for Michigan, a 5'11" freshman, the pride of Columbus, Ohio, number 3, Trey Burke. At forward for the Buckeyes, number 1, Deshaun Thomas. At guard for Michigan, a 6'6" sophomore from Miami, Florida, number 10, Tim Hardaway Jr. At forward for the Buckeyes, number 0, Jared Sullinger. At center for Michigan, a 6'8" sophomore from Detroit, number 52, Jordan Morgan. At guard for the Buckeyes, number 32, Lenzel Smith Jr. At guard for Michigan, a 6'3" senior from Carmel, Indiana, number 1, Stu Douglas. At guard for the Buckeyes, number 44, William Buford. And at guard for Michigan, a 6'4" senior from Chesterton, Indiana, number 0, Zach Novak.
Just about ready to go here in Ann Arbor. Thanks for watching the Infinity College Basketball Tip-Off live from Chrysler Center. Now let's see how our coaches are inspired.
Inspiration comes from the fans.
I think we've got the greatest fans in the country. There's times where maybe things aren't going well, and then all of a sudden you've got an inspiring crowd that lifts our guys to another level of play.
It's incredible to go out there and see a packed arena, see the crowd on your side, through thick and thin. Everyone is cheering for you. Our teams love our fans.
Inspiration is contagious.
Enthusiasm becomes contagious. Energy becomes contagious. When we're connected, we're a very difficult team to beat.
What inspires me is a great opportunity. Be prepared, do your best. Once you get out there, seize the day.
Seeing a group of guys come together for one collective goal inspires me as a coach. This is a team game. You need the other guys with you in order to get the job done.
Spread some inspiration of your own. Visit ESPN.com/infinity and help your coach win for his favorite charity.
Welcome back to Saturday Primetime, presented by DirecTV, Raucous Chrysler Center. From the campus of the University of Michigan, number 6 Ohio State and number 19 Michigan ready to go. Basketball is back in vogue here in Ann Arbor. The Wolverines hoping to win a game here tonight and move maybe a step closer to a possible Big Ten regular season championship. It has been a while. Ohio State defeated Michigan by 15 in Columbus on the 29th of January. Into the post they go with Sullinger. Sorry, Jay.
Michigan starting out man-to-man. They're going to play some zone throughout this game, and they decided to go single coverage in the post off the first play against Jared Sullinger.
Ohio State with a big size and reach advantage at just about every position. Stu Douglas misses the three. And the rebound down to Sullinger.
Right away, they go with that little shuffle cut screen for the screener. Got a wide open shot.
Good matchup at the point. Aaron Craft, the sophomore. Trey Burke, the freshman. Buford, 6th all-time leading scorer in Ohio State history. Ohio State in a little trouble right now, but still some time on the clock. Smith, who had a big game in the win over Michigan a few weeks ago. Shot clock at 3. 1. Sullinger knows it, but misses the shot. It's a shot clock violation on the Buckeyes.
Well defended by Michigan.
Thad Matta, coaching one of the powerhouse programs in America, took him to the national championship game in 2007. 20-win season after 20-win season.
Jordan Morgan playing out near the high post. That pulls Jared Sullinger away from the basket. He's not a shot blocker, but it opens up the middle for cutting.
Hardaway. Good defense by Smith to stay with him.
Smith is such a good athlete. That's a really important matchup on Hardaway.
Burke inside, off the glass and good.
It is so difficult to get an angle and get past Aaron Craft, but it shows you how good off the dribble that freshman Trey Burke is, but there's no shot blocker inside to knock that back.
Burke, just a freshman, second leading freshman scorer in the Big Ten behind Cody Zeller of Indiana. Sullinger again. They play on. Now it's an offensive foul on the second collision down low.
A terrific job by Zach Novak. I did think that Jordan Morgan flopped on that first one, but Jared Sullinger probably should have pulled up a little bit short. There's no question that's a flop. He did beat him to the spot. I don't know. That's a tough call for Ohio State, but a great job by Zach Novak.
At 6'4", 210, stepping in there against the 6'9", 265 Sullinger. Hardaway, the long jumper, 4-0 Wolverines.
Now, Tim Hardaway has not shot the ball particularly well from 3 on the season, just about 27%. But his inability to knock down shots from that distance has actually made him a better player. He's put the ball on the deck more. The 2-3 zone by Michigan.
And a turnover. And numbers. And Novak. What a start for Michigan.
Well, one thing that you can't do on the road is turn the ball over. And that one was a live ball turnover against that 2-3 zone. That allowed Michigan to play ahead of the Ohio State defense.
Ohio State has turned it over its last 3 trips. Thomas elevates from the elbow, and finally the Buckeyes are on the board.
Well, that's so difficult to have Deshaun Thomas, the lefty, working that high post because he can knock that shot down. And it gives Sullinger the ability to work the low post.
Real inside, outside threat. It's 6'7" Deshaun Thomas. Ooh, elbow into the chin of Kraft inadvertently from Burke. Tipped up and in. Morgan will get credit.
We've seen a lot of that lately. Tyler Zeller, now Jared Sullinger.
And the lead is back to 6. Student section in a frenzy here in Ann Arbor with this good start by the home club. Thomas again from the elbow. Same result.
When you move the ball from side to side and make that defense shift, then you're going to have the ability to penetrate it through the pass. And when Deshaun Thomas catches it, he's one of the few big guys in the middle of his own 10, 12 feet from the basket can make that shot all night long. And Michigan does such a nice job of keeping the floor spread.
Douglas cut off on the baseline by Buford, nearly threw it away. Still 10 to shoot. Burke helping out Burke.
Burke is so good off the dribble. That hesitation move just gives him that little bit of space.
The rebound for Kraft.
Lenzel Smith took one in the chops. He's a little late getting down.
Laboring up the court. And there's a foul on Novak, as Thomas was in the act of shooting. Well, they are very good friends and former teammates, but they are opponents here tonight. The story, Jared Sullinger and Trey Burke when we come back. Back here in Ann Arbor, a good start for Michigan, leading Jared Sullinger with the Buckeyes 8-4. Sullinger and Trey Burke, teammates going back to high school and way beyond that even. For more, here's Aaron Andrews.
Way beyond that, Dan. We're talking 3rd and 4th grade. These 2 kids knew each other growing up in Columbus. Actually got some really good dirt on both of these guys. Talking to these 2 players. So much like brothers, this friendship, very much like family. Trey Burke telling me today, spending the night at each other's house, having big-time competitions between the 2. And sometimes it gets very, very personal between these 2 kids.
We called each other brothers coming up, and you know we still do to this day. And you know, every weekend we would be over each other's house, you know, competing. Rather if it was playing the game or you know playing one-on-one downstairs in my basement, or you know even eating contests. Just little things. You know, we always competed. You know, at the smallest things, and you know that just goes to show how close we are.
Dan, Trey Burke very candid with me, just telling me about Jared Sullinger, how much they talked a lot of smack to each other in this last matchup, particularly down the stretch in the second half. Jared getting very, very vocal with him. We'll have to look at it, you know, later on in this game. And another bit of information, thumb sucking. He said his good buddy was doing it up until the 6th grade. Jared corrected that and said, no, I sucked my thumb until 8th grade. Street cred, I think not.
Thank you, Aaron. Meanwhile, an injury as Kraft gets in and lays it in for Ohio State. And we saw Lenzel Smith Jr. a little bit slow getting up the court a trip ago. He is not on the court right now. He's gone to the bench. And Sam Thompson, an ultra-athletic freshman out of Chicago, number 12, is into the game for the Buckeyes. Evan Smotrich, 6'9" sophomore out of Reading, Mass, is checked in for Michigan.
And Michigan went to their tap head. That's that high, flat ball screen. Didn't get anything out of it.
Hardaway got it.
Well, that's a good sign to have Tim Hardaway get off to a fast start. Well, he's a streaky player, and he's on a hot streak right now. Going back to what Aaron Andrews was saying about Trey Burke and Jared Sullinger, I mean, I'm not a handicapper, but I favor Sullinger in an eating contest.
He does appear to have an advantage. Here's Burke. Retains control.
He's got Buford on him. He probably should have taken him off the dribble, but they decided to run offense.
Now Kraft covering Douglas at the moment. Kraft, it says in the Ohio State notes, there's a quote attributed to you saying that Aaron Kraft is the best on-ball defender in the country.
I don't think there's any question about it. I think he guards the ball better than any guard in America. All exchanges out front by Michigan being switched right now.
Kraft into Sullinger. Good patience, can't finish, but then follows it up.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Jared Sullinger of not charging. Hardaway came over from the weak side to take a charge, and he was able to stop his momentum and still make a play.
Huge game in the Big Ten, with Ohio State at 10-3 in the league, tied with Michigan State, and Michigan just a game back at 9-4. Michigan State at Purdue tomorrow. Burke with a 16-footer, too strong. Long rebound to the Buckeyes. Here comes Buford. Thomas. This is the three weak side rebound. Thompson stolen away, just ripped away by Jordan Morgan.
Well, Thompson just overpowered Stu Douglas, and then Jordan Morgan came down and restored order and took it away from him.
Michigan not a good rebounding team. They're near the bottom of the Big Ten rankings, 10th out of 12 in the league play. Ohio State is up at second behind only Michigan State.
Michigan's been out-rebounded by 10 a game over the last 5 games.
Baseline cut, Douglas, handoff to Morgan, and it won't stay down.
You got to finish those, Dan. Not going to get a better opportunity. You get a 1-foot shot, you got to finish it.
Beautiful feed by Douglas. Buford working hard for his, and down with a rebound. Smotrich, who had a good game during the week, shot the ball well, as did Hardaway in Michigan's win over Illinois.
I don't know what the rush was for Buford to take that shot. And Michigan's making Ohio State guard on their defensive possessions. Ohio State, if they don't have an advantage going down the court, they've got to make Michigan guard.
Switches all over the place as they just tried to pick up. Kraft is on Smotrich right now. Thompson is on Burke. Burke goes by him, and a foul on the Buckeyes. Going on Thompson. A timeout on the floor. Michigan by 3 in the early going here in Ann Arbor.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV, and in part by Infinity. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
As part of our Bracket Buster coverage, we're letting you, the fan, pick the most under-the-radar player in all of college basketball. The nominees: Isaiah Cannon at Murray State, Damian Lillard, Weber State, Scott Machado at Iona, Casper Ware, Long Beach State, and Nate Wolters at South Dakota State. There's still time to vote. Log on and cast your ballot at ESPN.com/SportsNation. Jay, who would you say is, of these 5, the most under-the-radar star in college basketball this year?
Well, the best one, I think the best player to me is Damian Lillard of Weber State. An outstanding point guard. He's going to play in the NBA. But you've got guys that are tremendous in their leagues. I mean, Scott Machado is leading the nation in assists. I only had 15 assists today. Casper Ware out in the Big West was the player of the year in his conference last year and the defensive player of the year. And Nate Wolters is an outstanding guard. I mean, you're talking about great players, A through E here. But I think Lillard is the best of the bunch.
Which team made the biggest statement on Bracket Buster weekend?
I think Wichita State did, going to Davidson, winning by over 20. I think that's the best, quote-unquote, mid-major team in the country. You know, they won the NIT last year. Greg Marshall's got an outstanding team that I think is going to be playing into the second weekend, or at least can play into the second weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Trey Burke at the free throw line after the foul on Thompson before the break. Lenzel Smith has returned to the game for Ohio State. And Matt Vogrich, a junior out of Lake Forest, Illinois, has checked in for Michigan. He's hit 5 of his 6 threes the last couple of games. Jared Sullinger getting a breather.
That's a good point on Bogerich. He's on a little bit of a hot streak. He has not shot the ball well throughout his career in games. He knocks the bottom out of it in practice, but in games he hasn't shot it well. Last couple games he's been nailing perimeter shots.
Evan Ravenel, number 30, takes the place of Sullinger, and there's a block called on Smotrich, trying to hedge out on Kraft.
That's a tough one. I mean, John Beilein saying, look, he was there. It looked like Smotrich had beaten Aaron Kraft to the spot.
Arguing the call. What do you like best about John Beilein? He's been successful at a number of different levels, a number of different schools. What makes him a good coach?
Well, he's just a great teacher. You know, he's got his own system. He's never been an assistant. You know, he's always been a head coach. He's coached at every level. Obviously understands the game, but he's got his own way of going about it. They play a different style, and it's a style that I think he came up with so that he could win with less. And now that he's at Michigan, he's got to win with more. and he continues to evolve. He's got a great recruiting class coming in. I think this program's going to continue on its rise.
Fans will remember, of course, at West Virginia. Doesn't use the 1-3-1 nearly as much here as he did there. Doesn't have the length here that he does there, but the offensive principles are similar, right?
Very similar. They make great use of the three-point line. They like to spread the floor.
Hardaway, no, and Thomas down with a rebound for the Buckeyes.
Not a lot of second shots for Michigan. But Ohio State's been turning the ball over. They've coughed it up 5 times. Not just one guy. Everybody's had their hand in a turnover.
Buckeyes won at Minnesota during the week after losing at home to Michigan State last weekend, snapping a 39-game home court winning streak. Smith misses the 3, kept alive by Buford, but eventually into the hands of the Wolverines. Burke, nice look ahead. Hardaway draws the foul.
Michigan is trapping ball screens, and that makes Aaron Kraft give the ball up. Lenzel Smith had an open shot. Coming off this ball screen, they're jumping out and trapping it, and that forces them to forces Kraft to give the ball up, and then they just rotate over. And I don't think Michigan minds Lenzel Smith Jr. taking that 3. They don't want to give him an open one, but a challenge one, I don't think they're worried about. If you can get the ball out of Kraft's hands, that's what you'd rather have.
Stu Douglas checks back into the game. Morgan is on the bench, so Smotrich is the biggest player on the floor right now for Michigan. Ravenel goes out, and Sullinger will check back in. So right now, Smotrich presumably draws the assignment of Jared Sullinger. They're both 6'9", but there's about a 30-pound difference between them.
Ohio State has to start going inside. Sullinger needs to touch it.
He touches it here, but about 25 feet away from the basket.
They turned it over 10 times against Michigan State. But that was in large measure because his teammates weren't, I think he got a little caught up in the officiating, and there's the double team. He's usually good out of a double team.
And he was right there. Beautiful feed to Smith.
One of the hard things when you double the post, you have to ask yourself, how do you feel about open shots? Because you're leaving somebody open, and Ohio State usually has the poise to find them. They didn't have their poise against Michigan State. I thought they started moaning about officials. They lost their toughness.
Smotrich a missed 3. Back comes Buford. Buford has yet to score in this game for Ohio State.
If he spins, there's Hardaway's coming.
Now Buford has a little baseline teardrop from a guy who's got an excellent chance, Jay, of winding up 3rd, maybe even 2nd on Ohio State's all-time scoring list.
Well, he's also going to wind up in the NBA next year. Just a clutch player. Guy who at the end of the clock, he wants the ball in his hands. He can make a variety of shots. He can go down into the post.
A lone senior on this team.
Yeah, people don't realize they're a really young Ohio State team. People talk about youth on other teams, and somehow they think that Ohio State's older. They're not.
They start 4 sophomores. Nice drive by Smotrich.
Well, Smotrich is a skilled player. That's why you want to draw Jared Sullinger away from the basket. Smotrich can make a 3. He's actually one of the best three-point shooters on this team. Gives a little up fake, and nice back screen.
And Thomas inside for the finish and the foul.
Smotrich is a good shooter. And just this little fake, and he can get past Sullinger. Nice finish using the rim to protect it. Sullinger not a shot blocker. Ohio State did a really nice job of setting a staggered back screen to get Thomas down in the low post.
Hardaway goes out. Morgan comes back in, so that slides Smotrich to the 4. As Deshaun Thomas is at the line. He's off to a big start tonight. Hit a couple of early jumpers. Cannot complete the 3-point play. Ohio State has a tougher schedule the rest of the way. They still play Wisconsin, and they still go to Michigan State. Michigan, relatively speaking, has an easier schedule the rest of the way than the Buckeyes do. Novak off balance, a little short.
And Michigan had better get a good shot because they're not getting a second one. Their only offensive rebound came when Sullinger tipped it in for them.
Kraft. His shot has been improved in recent games. 34% on the season from beyond the arc. Sullinger can shoot it from out there. Misses that one. Thomas misses, and finally the rebound to Michigan.
And Michigan has to start blocking out. That means the guards. Everybody's got to lay a body on somebody because red shirts are running all over the lane when a shot goes up.
Douglas. Smotrich with the offensive rebound. Well, Smotrich is feeling it tonight, looking for his, misses the baseline jumper.
That's not a good shot. It's a shot he's capable of making, but they just worked to get the ball back on the same side of the floor. They didn't make Ohio State do anything defensively. So Bogerich is going to come over if he spins.
Sullinger spins the other way and knocks it down.
Well, that's great awareness in the post. You think he hasn't figured out that if he spins baseline that Michigan's coming for him? That was a great move by Jared Sullinger.
They're doing something Michigan State did a lot too, just jabbing at the ball, digging at him, not committing to him entirely, but just trying to unsettle Sullinger as much as they can.
Well, wait till he puts the ball down and commits himself, but he just gave him a little look, a little fake, and then went middle.
And a lot of communicating in the ball screen here with Kraft. Douglas inside. Boy, and a couple of missed opportunities, maybe 3 of them right around the rim already for Michigan. Buford called for the offensive foul, no basket.
But Jared Sullinger, when he gets the ball in the post, very aware of what's going on. Michigan doesn't step up to take away the middle. Morgan's got to take away that middle and drive him into Bogerich. Instead, Sullinger, that's why he's the best postman in the country on the offensive end.
A close one here in the Big Ten country. Michigan up 1 on Ohio State in this all-important game in the Big Ten Conference. How about some college basketball tomorrow afternoon? It'll be Chris Joseph and the Syracuse Orange, the #2 team in the nation, heading to the RAC to take on Rutgers at 1 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com. And if you're watching tonight's game in 3D, you already know simply the most spectacular viewing experience there is. Other games coming up in 3D 1 week from tonight. Our next game day game in Storrs, Connecticut, as UConn hosts Syracuse next Saturday night. And then the 29th of February, Maryland at North Carolina. Let's take a look at that last charge. The second one taken tonight, Jay, by Zach Novak.
Well, Zach Novak does a great job of getting down to the baseline, and that's just a terrific play by an outstanding defender who's not afraid to leave his body on the line. You know, John Beilein, I think, described him one time as a 6'4" Brian Cardinal. That's a pretty good compliment.
That is.
Hairdo aside.
Former Purdue player who's got about 12 years out of an NBA career as well. Here's Novak. Misses the 3. Novak says he probably should be a 3. He's played some 2, but mostly 4. Even guarded the 5 spot sometimes as he forces a turnover there on the travel. But Novak basically doing whatever John Beilein needs him to do on any given night.
You know, he's been a 1,000-point scorer. He's played the power forward spot. He's rebounded against some of the biggest and toughest guys in the league. I asked him yesterday, who's the toughest cover you had as a 4-man? He said, well, Blake Griffin was pretty good. As I'd say, yeah.
Hardaway tries to dump it down, anticipated and stolen by Smith, who had 12 rebounds in the first matchup with Michigan, 8 of them at the offensive end. Missing the putback is Amir Williams, the freshman out of Birmingham, Michigan, a guy they think has a ton of upside.
Well, he should have been shooting 2 free throws. He got fouled. There's no question about it. The referees just didn't call it.
Looks like another Big Ten game that'll nestle somewhere into the 50s for each team by the time it's all said and done.
Michigan's going to use the clock and make Ohio State guard him unless they get something in transition.
Burke muscles it up. Follow no good. Ohio State ball.
I don't know how many 1-foot shots Michigan can get. They got to start making some because right now their defense is carrying them.
Thomas for 3. crowd wanted an over the back on Williams. Didn't get the call, but Michigan's got the ball.
Well, now it's even because he fouled. Amir Williams fouled down there. He got fouled before, and then he fouled.
Michigan has not lost at home this season. 14-0. They've won 15 in a row at home going back to last year. The last team to beat them was Wisconsin.
Michigan's got to start moving the ball.
And the crowd helping out Burke with the shot clock running down. Morgan inside will finish.
A tremendous find by Trey Burke. He really threaded a needle to fit that ball through there.
Burke with his second assist of the night.
Well, Stu Douglas, really a good defender. He's doing a really nice job on William Buford right now. Every exchange out front being switched by Michigan.
Kraft. Offensive foul. The third charge taken by Michigan in this game. This time it was Tim Hardaway Jr.
Well, Aaron Kraft, when he drives in, he's got a jump stop because Michigan has done a really nice job of beating them to a spot to take a charge. I mean, you got to come under control and come to a jump stop and make a play.
Jay's second foul on Kraft.
Yeah, that's a big foul. I mean, you can get a charge on Aaron Kraft. You got to reach in down on the baseline on the other end, on the defensive end. But if you get a charge on him, that's a big play.
Sullinger back into the game for Williams. It is Shannon Scott, freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia, the son of North Carolina legend and former NBA player Charlie Scott, who was checked into the game to the point wearing number 3 now for the Buckeyes.
He doesn't play a lot of minutes, and all of a sudden he's guarding one of the toughest guys off the dribble, not only in the league, but in the country.
Burke takes it, kicks to Douglas, and Michigan scores 3 right off the bat.
And it was because of Trey Burke's penetration. You know, Aaron Kraft can do a better job of angling him out, keeping him out of the lane. But that was way too easy to break that defense down. You know, when Kraft's into the game, you don't have to help. You know, he does it all on the ball.
Buford finally gets a clean look, misses the 3. And back come the Wolverines with a 6-point lead and some momentum. Wide open Burke. Crowd was waiting to explode if that shot had gone down.
Well, Ohio State, Dan, has become a jump shooting team. They need to get the ball inside.
Smith for 3. And Ohio State is now 0 for 8 from beyond the arc.
There might be time to call a timeout right here and for Thad Matta to say, listen, I'd like to introduce you to Jared Sullinger. And the next guy that takes a jump shot without him touching it, your scholarship's gone.
Sullinger 4 points, 2 for 5 from the floor.
Good job by Sullinger to help on that drive.
Burke working hard. Thomas might have gotten a piece. Burke was stumbling as he put the shot up. Scott trying to go all the way, draws the block, draws the foul, and will be shooting free throws when we come back. How about the play, Jay, and Trey Burke tonight?
Well, Trey Burke is an outstanding passer, but he sets it all up off the dribble. Coming off the flat ball screen, getting into the lane, and kicking it out to an open shooter.
6-point lead for the Wolverines here at Chrysler Center, the building formerly known as Chrysler Arena. 22-16 in Michigan over Ohio State. 2:29 to go in the first half. Coming up in 2:29, Reese Davis, Hubert Davis, Digger Phelps will try to muddle through without my friend Jay Billis on the UPS halftime report. Bracket Buster Saturday and then some around the country here today. Jay, what do the Buckeyes have to do to get Jared Sullinger more involved?
Well, I think they have to run more offense. They're bringing the ball down court. You can see Sullinger trying to get down the floor, and all of a sudden, you know, Shannon Scott has got the ball just past him. He couldn't even set up into the low post, and a shot was up. He was easy to block out. They've got to do a better job of coming down and taking better shots and running offense.
Aaron, what'd you hear in the Ohio State huddle?
Well, Thad Matta didn't introduce Jared Sullinger like Jay had suggested, but he did say, guys, I'm going to state the obvious here. Make a shot, would you? He also said, keep running it. You need to run it down. We're going to wear them out.
Frustrating for a big guy when he runs the court, sets the screens, does the dirty work, and doesn't get the ball, right?
Well, yeah, but Aaron's right. Like, they do have to run more offense because they haven't made Michigan guard in the half court. They've turned the ball over 8 times. And 3 of those have been charges. which not only gives up the ball, they don't get a shot, a chance for an offensive rebound, but also it's put Aaron Craft out of the game. Nice back tie.
And a foul. Yeah, there had to be a whistle there. There was clearly a push in the back. And Burke is going to shoot free throws. Scott called for the foul. He's in the game with Craft on the bench.
Well, terrific job going off a little handoff and then taking advantage of the freshman Shannon Scott, who just got on the high side of Trey Burke. Well, that was called out of the timeout by John Beilein. It's not like Ohio State hasn't done a good job defensively for the most part. I mean, they're holding Michigan to 35, 36% from the field. Now, granted, Michigan's missed a few layups, but you've got to come down and be disciplined and tough on the offensive end, too, to force your opponent on their home floor to guard you.
Ohio State has not made a field goal in 7 minutes.
And they've not really gotten the ball to Sullinger, where they forced Michigan to double team, where they can kick it back out. They can drive the rotation. They can force the defense into making a mistake.
Here's Sullinger getting a touch. Missed off the window. Back comes Michigan inside 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Sullinger missed that shot, but at least Ohio State gave him a chance to get fouled and get an easy opportunity.
Smotrich. And stolen away by Sullinger.
Why off the first side? They didn't even move the ball from side to side. That's not the way Michigan wants to play in this game.
And Buford fouled by Smotrich.
Michigan foul on number 23, Evan Smotrich.
Smotrich is a really skilled player. But that was an unnecessary play that he made.
Second foul on Smotrich. He will sit down. And Blake McClymans, a junior out of Hamburg, New York, 6'10", 240, checks into the game for the first time.
Now, McClymans is not a guy that's going to be down in the low post. He's going to be able to step away, and he's the type of guy that can knock down a three if a big guy doesn't step out on him.
Having to guard a guy who can knock down threes as well, Deshaun Thomas.
Nice.
And Ohio State with a backdoor cut of its own, Jay.
Right out of the corner on the penetration, William Buford just went right to the bucket. He's got such great hands, finishing with the left hand. He can score in a variety of ways, especially down in the low post. He can take a smaller guard down there. Turnaround jumpers, he's got it all.
Over 1,800 points in his career.
Got two big guys out on the floor for Michigan right now, but McClymon's more of a perimeter big.
Burke the pull-up, yes.
That's a really good step-back move, and you can see that Trey Burke trying to go after Shannon Scott. He doesn't have Aaron Craft on him, and he wants to take advantage. Even though he's a freshman, he's taking advantage of his freshman counterpart.
And Thad Amato will use a timeout to set up for potentially a final shot here in the first half. Michigan leading Ohio State here late in the first half. You can see the Buckeyes again as part of the Super Tuesday doubleheader presented by KFC. They will host Illinois. Boy, the Illini really struggling. Got blown out by Nebraska today. And then #1 Kentucky. It will not be easy against Mississippi State. Super Tuesday presented by KFC, a part of Judgment Week on ESPN, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com.
Mississippi State, a really talented team that has had its ups and downs, but you can bet they're going to have an up against Kentucky. They're going to play their tails off against the Wildcats.
Ohio State just 18 points. Both teams are shooting an identical 9 for 24. 37.5% here in the first half as the Buckeyes hold for the last look, and Michigan into the zone.
Well, they're giving a zone look. That doesn't mean that they can't go man-to-man out of it.
And here they go, just as you said, Jay. Buford, no. Thomas, what a rebound. Big bucket for Deshaun Thomas, who has 8 points now in this game, but 20 points in the first half is the lowest first half total that Ohio State has had on the season. Their previous low against Michigan, 24 back on January 29th. Here's Aaron Andrews with that model.
Lowest scoring first half all season for you guys. What's giving you the biggest problem?
We got to make a shot. I mean, we're getting wide open shots down there. They're not going in, and they're being, when we go up, they're being physical. They're walking into us in the post down there, but we got to finish through the contact. We got to make, our defense is probably good enough. We got to make shots.
Our announcers noticed and not getting the ball to Jared Sullinger much in the first half. How do you change that?
You know, we got to keep looking in there. They're being really, really physical, knocking him off the block, but he's got to post stronger, and we got to get in there to him.
All right, thanks, Adam. Thank you. Dan.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Michigan leading at the break over Ohio State in this big game of the Big Ten. Trey Burke with 7 points, 3 assists, didn't turn it over in the first half. Michigan State leading by 5. When we come back, Reese Davis and the guys deliver the UPS halftime reports.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Volkswagen Tiguan. That's the power of German engineering. And Twisted Tea, true iced tea taste in a hard tea. This game is streaming live on your computer, tablet, or smartphone via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app.
Welcome back to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ohio State and Michigan as we go to the second half. The Wolverines are up 5 on the Buckeyes at a low-scoring game. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Aaron Andrews. And Jay, Ohio State didn't make a 3, didn't make a free throw, didn't get the ball inside very much. They might be lucky to be down only 5.
Well, they are lucky to be down 5. They took 9 threes. They missed them all. And hey, remember, Michigan missed layups. Yeah. They missed 4 or 5 layups. They could be down a lot more than 5 right now.
And the numbers tell us that it wasn't a pretty story offensively, really for either team, but especially for Ohio State. You can see Aaron Craft, who had some foul trouble in the first half, didn't really get going. Trey Burke didn't shoot the ball well, 2 of 7, but did a lot of other things very, very well.
He certainly did. He really controlled the game with his penetration, his dribble coming off ball screens. And Aaron Craft has got to stay in the game. And I think that Ohio State has got to give up on some of these jump shots, try to get the ball more inside.
Craft missed the last 4 minutes and change in the first half. Deshaun Thomas, 8.7 rebounds in the first half for the Buckeyes as Novak knocks down a jumper.
A nice little screen for Novak. That forced Jared Sullinger to come up to try to get a handoff. He just got that shot off too quickly.
And will they go inside to Sullinger? Sure looking like they're trying as Craft gets it into him. Immediate double team. Good ball movement. Thomas from the corner for 3.
See, that's a good jump shot because they got the ball inside and they were able to move it from side to side to get a wide open shot.
First 3 made tonight by the Buckeyes.
So much room in the middle of the floor for cutting.
Morgan somehow comes up with a loose ball. Douglas. And the long rebound down to Burke. Burke, as he was announced before the game, the pride of Columbus, Ohio, as we mentioned, a childhood friend and high school teammate of Jared Sullinger.
William Buford on Tim Hardaway Jr. And you can see Buford, when Hardaway's got the ball, he's always looking for a ball screen to come his way.
Burke gets inside, left it short.
Michigan not even going to the offensive glass. They're trying to get back.
And Morgan called for the foul, bodying up on Sullinger.
But just smart by Sullinger. You know, he always thinks he's open, but he has to really work for position inside. When the ball's reversed, to keep trying to get an angle, he's going to start picking up some of those fouls. Yeah, he got Jordan Morgan on his hip and kept his feet moving, almost like a running back, and forced Morgan to foul him.
Sullinger down about 20 pounds from where he was a year ago. He's also extended the range on his jump shot. Buford, crowd wanted to travel, rebound to Burke, into Michigan with a rare chance to push. Morgan.
I thought that was a bad shot by William Buford. He may have gotten fouled, but oftentimes a questionable shot is the first pass in your opponent's fast break, and Michigan took advantage of it.
And another foul on Morgan, who's upset, and his teammates are trying to calm him down. 2 quick ones on Morgan. Mike Kidd saying you wrapped your arms around him. Morgan pleading his case, but to no avail.
Well, he can't get too wrapped up in the officials. He's got to play ball.
Kraft, heavy traffic. And we have another Michigan foul.
Novak. Deshaun Thomas has such good second jump capability. And he just pitched that ball up on the backboard and went right after it.
Third personal on Novak, already third team foul this half on Michigan.
And what Thad Matta was saying, Aaron Andrews reported before, talked about wearing Michigan down. Well, that's what they're trying to do right now. Continuing with their interior screening, trying to get the ball inside, and definitely getting to the glass, where they absolutely worked over Michigan the last time these two teams played.
John Beilein's made an early substitution, wants a little more size in there, so Smotrich has come into the game for Novak. And Novak also just picked up his third, so they go bigger as they go to their bench.
That might even be a better matchup for Ohio State. I think Deshaun Thomas probably a little bit better feel for guarding Smotrich than guarding Novak.
Great ball handler in Burke, great defender in Kraft. Burke behind the back and finally turns it over to Kraft. 3 on 2. Buford. And Smotrich down with a rebound.
Boy, credit to Stu Douglas for getting right underneath him.
Morgan again on another feed from Burke, and they're on their feet in Ann Arbor.
Well, Ohio State just not getting back after the shot. Douglas did a really nice job defensively there.
Trey Burke electrifying this crowd with his passing. He's got 5 assists now. Knocked out of bounds. It still belongs to the Buckeyes.
After Douglas did such a good job to make Buford take a tough shot, but Jordan Morgan really does a nice job of running the floor. That was the kind of finish. That wasn't a miss of a 1-foot shot. Made sure that went down.
Kraft driving, missing. Another rebound for Smotrich, taken down by his own teammate. And Burke, we have a held ball. And on the alternating possession, it'll get turned over to the Buckeyes, and John Beilein is beside himself.
Well, he should be. That was a strip. That should have been a turnover. I mean, how was that a held ball? He took it from him.
Well, Michigan's only added 1 point to their lead here in the second half, but it feels like the game has a completely different flavor to it here in the opening minutes of the second half.
Well, just as physical, but Michigan's been able to get some easier baskets. And they've gotten them off of difficult shots taken by Ohio State because Michigan has played such good position defense.
Douglas. Over Buford. Got it.
That was a really nice move. He does such a good job when he gets the ball into the paint of pivoting. Well, he can make a shot, but he can also pass it back out. He made that play on the floor.
He's a senior, has never missed a game. This is his 129th game in a Michigan uniform.
Well, you know, that's a shot that Jared Sullinger can make, Dan. I'm just not sure you need that off of one pass.
Hardaway. Good defense by Buford. Ohio State looking to push 3 on 2. Great anticipation by Burke to deflect it out of bounds and take us to our first media timeout in the second half. Trey Burke doing it all for Michigan as the Wolverines have their largest lead of the night. Huge game for Michigan. Just a game back of Ohio State and Michigan State for the top spot of the Big Ten standings. And the Wolverines, led by freshman Trey Burke, are up by 8.
Well, Trey Burke has been controlling the game off the dribble, off the flat ball screen, getting the ball into the middle. He draws 4 defenders into the paint. He's got 2 shooters loaded up on the weak side. And Stu Douglas knocks it down. Then after the bad shot by William Buford, now he's doing it in transition. The bounce pass to Jordan Morgan, the second of his 2 dunks in this ball game. Here was the first, and he's just outrunning Jared Sullinger and Deshaun Thomas. I'll tell you, Dan, I think that Ohio State needs to get tougher. They're getting a little bit frustrated. They're moaning a little bit at the officials, and they're getting outrun by Michigan in this second half. And that happened to them against Michigan State, where William Buford went 2 of 12 in the game. And he's only made 2 buckets in this one, and he's really been frustrated in this game. Hasn't got anything.
Sullinger, the offensive foul. And that will only add to the Buckeye frustration. This is heading into the last timeout. This video here, Thad Matta really getting in the ear of his senior William Buford.
It looks like he's really trying to pick him up. You know, take good shots, take strong shots. You know, be a tough man out there.
Aaron Andrews has more.
And just what Jay Billis said, but he cleaned it up for Thad Matta. He continued that conversation with William Buford in the timeout, in the huddle. Guys really winded, and I know you mentioned that, Dan, heading into that timeout. Jared Sullinger huffing and puffing while Thad Matta was really getting on his team. You have to shoot the ball, make a shot.
It looks, Jay, like Jordan Morgan's running, even if there's nothing there, just to get Jared Sullinger running back as hard as he can every time down the floor.
Yeah, he leaks out early.
Ohio State foul on number 4.
Aaron Kraft just picked up his 3rd foul.
Right now, Ohio State's been on a string. They're spending way more time on the defensive end than they are on offense. You know, if this were a football game, time of possession would be going in Michigan's favor.
As would the turnovers, with Ohio State coughing it up as much as they have tonight.
You know, coming into this game, you wouldn't say, well, I think Michigan's going to shoot more free throws and Ohio State's going to take more threes. That's pretty much what's happened.
Is this Michigan dictating the style of the game, or is this Ohio State making some poor decisions?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I'd say offensively, I don't think that Michigan is making Ohio State take these shots. I think Ohio State is doing it on their own. You know, that's a form of toughness, Dan, and discipline, that when you get in a game like this, you know, they've done a pretty decent job defensively. It's not like Michigan's got 60 or 70 points and they're running roughshod all over Ohio State. Ohio State hasn't had the discipline to run good offense and score. Now, have they missed some open shots? Yeah, but they've taken a lot of jump shots.
And it's the largest lead of the night for Michigan. Kraft turns the corner. Smith. Buford, step in 2. Back of the rim, offensive rebound, Thomas. Pushing on Smotrich, and a Michigan foul on the play.
He got his arm grabbed as he was going up, but even though William Buford missed that shot, they made Michigan guard. They moved the ball from side to side, passed the ball around. He got a decent shot. And they also had offensive rebounding coverage because the shot came within the context of their offense. Ultimately, now they wind up at the free throw line.
And again, another conversation now with Thad Matta talking to William Buford about his shooting stroke after missing that jumper.
See, that's got to feel good for a player when your coach is saying, will you shoot it? You know, my coach said, will you stop shooting it? Don't even think about shooting it.
And Thomas makes a pair. Thomas is keeping him in it right now.
8 points in a game with this little scoring seems like a big mountain to climb, but you get a couple stops, knock a couple shots down, all of a sudden it's a different game. And I'm not sure that Aaron Kraft wants to go under those screens.
Remember, he's got 3 fouls, dives for the loose ball, and Ohio State has it. Here's Thomas. Great hustle by Douglas. Numbers for Michigan. Burke with a layup.
Boy, what a play by Stu Douglas. I mean, Stu Douglas is an underrated defender. He knocked that ball away and not only took a bucket away from Ohio State, but gave one to Michigan.
And the lead is back to 10. Thomas. 16 points to go with a career high 10 rebounds for Deshaun Thomas.
He's had 30 in a game. He's a big-time scorer. Had 30 against South Carolina, but Stu Douglas, when it looked like Ohio State and Deshaun Thomas had a chance to get the ball to the basket, maybe a short little jumper, Stu Douglas takes it away, and Aaron Craft can't afford to get number 4. He's got to give up the easy one to Trey Burke.
Back here in Ann Arbor, Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Aaron Andrews, Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV. Michigan leading Ohio State 37-30. And what a big game this is here in the Big Ten. As we mentioned off the top of the show, the Michigan Wolverines, this is hard to believe, have not won a Big Ten regular season title since 1986. They've got a shot, certainly a shot, to move up with a win here tonight. Michigan State is at Purdue tomorrow. Ohio State 10-3. The Wolverines just a game back. This has been a long time coming for this organization, for this program.
It certainly has, and to be able to play for a Big Ten championship, that's everything in this league. I'm not sure that any league values its regular season championship as much as the Big Ten does.
And you saw there the numbers on Deshaun Thomas. He is the only Buckeye to score in the second half, and he is the biggest reason by far that Ohio State is still within striking distance. He has 18 points tonight. His teammates have 12. Smotrich had it knocked away, got it back. Hardaway.
They've done a nice job of keeping the ball in the middle of the floor. And they're able to cut off that high post man. They can curl it. That starts their shuffle cut action.
Douglas having to work hard, trailing Buford around a series of screens. A block this time is the call. More contact inside, and Smotrich is called for the foul.
Listen, there have been some players in decent position, but they're going down a little easy. Jordan Morgan went down really easy when he threw that charge. He was in good position, but there's no way that Evan Smotrich is a lot stronger than that.
His third, he sits down. Morgan back into the game. Buford got it. Big basket maybe to see if that can get William Buford to go.
Buford is such a clutch shooter. He really struggled against Michigan State, and he has struggled so far in this game. I think part of it, Dan, has had to do with the quality of shot that he has taken. That was a really good shot.
Novak open behind a screen, missed the three. And the rebound down to Thompson, and a touch foul on Hardaway.
John Beilein upset with the call. There's no question that Hardaway was over the back there. He had no shot at that rebound.
Well, John Beilein, normally a mild-mannered individual, anything but here tonight with the magnitude of this game. Thompson back into the game off the bench for Lenzel Smith. Ohio State does not get a lot from its bench. A total of 18 points their last 5 games from the bench. That's it. Sullinger. Rebound Michigan.
Deshaun Thomas seemed like he had that offensive rebound, but Morgan is really fighting Sullinger inside. Made it really difficult for him to make the catch, and then made him take a fadeaway into the lane. I think he can get up a quick right-handed jump hook off the glass.
Hardaway is feeling it. Well, they're a different team when he's making shots, aren't they?
No question. He has to score for them to win. Both he and Burke have got to score.
He's got a dozen. Burke has 11. Sullinger finally gets a little space.
And he got away with a hook. It was a terrific move. He plays angles so well, but he used that left arm to hook. That wide pin down allows Hardaway to go to the basket or go to the ball. That's really difficult to guard.
Screen by Morgan. Burke the miss. Rebound for Thomas. Buford in full flight. Had to put the brakes on.
Another solid job by Douglas to stop the ball to keep Buford from getting to the rim.
Sullinger getting a lot more touches here in the second half. Working hard, got the roll.
Boy, he got a lot of contact too. I think Morgan fortunate he didn't pick up a foul there.
And Sullinger now with 8. Suddenly the lead is down to 6 for Michigan as we near the midway point of the second half.
They have to keep going into Sullinger. Even if he kicks it back out, you're going to get a better shot if it touches the post.
Hardaway driving. And it will be Michigan ball when we come back. Tim Hardaway stymied on that trip, but not earlier. Knocking down shots here in the second half, including a 3 from the wing, and Michigan continues to lead the Buckeyes. Now, in this part of the country, there is no bigger rivalry, especially when it comes to football, of course, than Ohio State and Michigan. In basketball, Ohio State has dominated this rivalry recently, winning 15 of the last 17, and that coincides with that modest tenure in Columbus. Michigan trying to pull off a win here tonight. They have lost 6 in a row overall. In football, Ohio State has won 9 of the last 11, although Michigan won this year, so maybe, Jay, the tides are turning right now.
Well, Denard Robinson was with us on game day, helped pump us up for our day here at the Chrysler Center, and boy, what a great kid he is. Not only comes to the basketball games, he was at a hockey game last night.
I think of the Michigan State game earlier this year, that late win by Michigan. He was in with the students and loving every minute of it.
Well, this is a big possession here for Ohio State. Down 6, they can really put some game pressure on Michigan. Get it back to a one-possession game if they knock a 3 down.
Sullinger again. Jumper, no. Morgan the rebound.
Thad Matta trying to get in the ear of Tom Eads, say he's being fouled in there. I didn't think he was fouled on that possession. He has been fouled on a couple others.
Michigan patient as always.
With Ohio State's inability really to score efficiently, you want to run as much clock as you can.
Hardaway, good hands by Sam Thompson to force the turnover.
Thompson's such a great athlete. Really move his feet, and he can get off his feet. Anytime there's an out-of-bounds underneath play, he's in the game. You better be aware of a lob.
Sullinger again, and it's a 4-point game. The game plan has completely changed for Ohio State here in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, the more you go inside, the more pressure you put on Michigan, and the more chances you have of going to the free throw line.
And John Beilein wants a timeout. Jared Sullinger has brought the Buckeyes within 4. Welcome back to Saturday Primetime, presented by DirecTV. With Aaron Andrews, Jay Billis, I'm Dan Schulman. Welcome back to Chrysler Center here in Ann Arbor, the home of the Wolverines, whose lead is down to 4. Huge ovation before the game for football coach Brady Hoke when he came out, led him to the fight song. And you got a chance to visit the big house. Had some fun here, huh?
Yeah, right before the game, I walked down on the field, and there's Denard Robinson, the great quarterback, and you know, Brady Hoke was in the locker room, got a chance to meet him. He had a bunch of recruits in, and you know, when I walked down on the field, I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. I committed. I told him, I'll be your holder, whatever you want. That was pretty cool.
So don't be surprised to see you back at a football game here next fall. Huh?
It was really neat.
Burke got it. Boy, what a tough drive by Trey Burke.
Their childhood friends not on that play. He went right into the chin of Jared Sullinger. I think Sullinger's not thinking about, hey, give me the ball now.
Buford creates a little space, misses the long jumper, weak side rebound, Thomas, and the finish, and a hard fall for Deshaun Thomas, having a monster night now with 20 points and 12 rebounds.
What a great offensive rebound. Just took on Zach Novak underneath. I thought that was a foul. That should have been an N1, but what a great play by Thomas.
He's got half of their points and almost half of their rebounds.
Screen for the screener off the shuffle cut. This is where Burke's got to take over.
Douglas, nice find. Morgan, count it!
Terrific finish by Jordan Morgan. The one-foot shots that Michigan was missing in the first half, they're making in the second half. Nice play by Douglas, who's had a terrific floor game.
Well, tonight here in Ann Arbor, things have not come so easily for Jared Sullinger, although he's made a few baskets here in the second half. Not a lot of free space down there, Jay. He's drawn a lot of attention.
Well, Jordan Morgan in the second half has done a really nice job on Jared Sullinger. Made everything difficult, forcing him into a fadeaway shot in the lane. Here picking up the charge. Went down a little easy, but he beat him to the spot. And he's really been physical with him. Now, Jared Sullinger got the better of that one. Maybe got away with a little hook. And Trey Burke comes over from the weak side, just not big enough to really influence that one play, but he's gotten 12 shots in this game, made 5 of them. And he's probably gotten double-figure bruises, though.
Yeah. He's not gotten to the free throw line yet in this game, which is where Jordan Morgan is right now for the first time tonight. 5 for 6 from the field. And taking a lot of high percentage looks. One of the reasons why Morgan is second in the Big Ten in field goal percentage behind only Cody Zeller. The lead is 7 in a game in which Ohio State has not led for a single second. Thomas. What a night for Deshaun Thomas. It's a 3. 23 points for Thomas.
He's a big-time scorer. Kansas in the first half in Allen Fieldhouse. It was the Deshaun Thomas show. That was without Jared Sullinger in the game, but just stepping back behind the line. He had Sullinger wide open in the post.
Burke, the left arm into the chest of Pratt to try to get a little space.
Got a switch, and now he's just saying, get out of the way. He's going to take Deshaun Thomas.
Had to give it up. 2 to shoot. Novak got rimmed, but Sullinger got the rebound.
Good job defensively, and Thomas was able to keep Burke from getting something easy. Good drive at the closing.
Buford no, and a late whistle and a foul call against Michigan. I believe on Hardaway.
Well, people are reacting because of the late call, and there's no question that the officials were waiting to see if this was made, but there's also no question that that was a block.
Well, you'd like to see if it's a foul, right? Whether or not the shot's good or not.
That's what I'd like to see, but they did the same thing with Michigan in the first half on Trey Burke. They waited to see whether it went in or not. It didn't. They called a foul.
Second on Hardaway. Boy, a couple of big misses.
That's how you lose on the road. You don't make free throws.
Buford is an 89% free throw shooter who had made 41 of his last 42, and he just missed a pair.
Yeah, he's just having a tough night. He can't get anything to drop from the perimeter, and when you go to the free throw line, usually a great shooter, you foul a guy and give him a chance to see the ball go through the net. You don't want to even just see it go through the net on the free throws.
Ohio State as a team just 4 for 9 from the line. Hardaway is fouled and will shoot 3. Sam Thompson committed the foul.
Well, that is the definition of a dumb foul. You want to put pressure on the shot, but the last thing you can do is foul a three-point shooter. You put a little bit of pressure on it, but that's it.
So 3 free throws coming for Hardaway, 73% on the season.
Big Ten basketball.
It was 25-20 at the half, 47-43 now, 5:47 to go.
Wow. They're going to have to repaint the rims after this. As coaches, what do? You just say keep shooting. They work on free throws. These are pressure free throws, obviously, but it didn't work out too bad for Ohio State.
Yep.
They were very, very fortunate there.
5-point deficit. Wolverines unbeaten at home this year. Sullinger.
It's a foul.
It's a travel.
That's a foul is what it is. That's a foul.
The expression is a smile, but it's a really frustration that Jared Sullinger's been feeling all night long. A wry smile after this call.
First of all, I didn't see him walk, but that's life in the Big Ten. You gotta play through it.
And again, they'll run down the clock.
Having Jordan Morgan high. Look how much space there is in the middle.
Bird. Morgan had the rebound and then lost it. The Buckeyes have it. Under 5 to go. Thompson. Thomas. Oh! And there's a foul on Michigan on Novak for getting underneath Jared Sullinger.
Novak needs to be a little careful. That reaction was a little bit too much. But boy, he's a fighter. Yeah, there's no question that was a foul. A little discard by Sullinger broke the contact. He just went right underneath him and knocked him out of bounds.
That's the 4th on Novak. Doing the best that he could to try to box out a guy way bigger than he is. This week, Super Tuesday, a great doubleheader coming your way here on ESPN at 7 Eastern. The Buckeyes again as they take on a struggling Illinois team. Then Kentucky is at Mississippi State at 9 Eastern. Super Tuesday presented by KFC. Tough to see the way things are going right now in Champaign.
Well, there's no question. Bruce Weber, really good coach, really good guy. And things seem to be going downhill. And speaking of that, how about Mississippi State? Like, I know they're going to play really well against Kentucky. That's a talented basketball team. Well, they went to Auburn and got beat. And they didn't get beat at the last second. They got beat by double digits.
The lead is down to 3, and there's a lot of time left in this game here in Ann Arbor.
Aaron Kraft has done a really nice job on Trey Burke in this second half. He really hasn't gotten anything to speak of.
Hardaway the kick. Smotrich the 3 way short. And stolen away by Buford.
It was Kraft that knocked it away. Buford came up with it because Jordan Morgan brought that ball down. You bring it down around Kraft, he's going to take it. Got away with a walk there.
Smith, offensive foul. Another charge taken, this time by Morgan. That's at least the 4th charge taken by a Michigan player in this game.
Well, that was a nice job by Morgan. I thought Ohio State got away with a walk there. But they're just driving into too much traffic without making a jump stop.
They get 5 charges taken by Michigan in this game. Ohio State turning over the ball. Both in terms of charges, and a little careless with the ball at times as well.
Kraft forcing him into to use one side of that screen, and then Sullinger just steps out.
Kraft going under the screen, 6 to shoot. 4 to shoot. Douglas, big shot.
What a shot. But he's just been terrific. Outstanding on the defensive end on William Buford, and that was a clutch play.
Double team on Thomas. And a foul.
Yeah, you wonder how many times guys got to get hit before they call it. They called the 3rd foul.
Bonus situation, Ohio State to the line. Down by 5, late stages.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. And in part by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And Hyundai. If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai.
Really good atmosphere here in Ann Arbor tonight. The Michigan Wolverines are up 5 on Ohio State with 3:22 to go. And this is not the kind of package we put together very often. This is a drawing charges package tonight here, Jay.
Well, Michigan has laid their bodies on the line. They've come over from the weak side to stop penetration in the first half, drawing a couple charges, one on Aaron Kraft, Getting him on Jared Sullinger. Then Lenzel Smith drives in from the left wing. And, see, they love each other.
Yeah, we all just get along. Well, Ohio State has won 6 in a row and 15 of the last 17 in this rivalry. Big picture within the Big Ten, Ohio State and Michigan State are tied for the lead, a game ahead of Michigan. This is a big one, no matter how you slice it. Huge night for Deshaun Thomas with more than half of Ohio State's points.
He's been a man on the glass as well. You know who else has played really well, but it's for Michigan, has been Jordan Morgan. He's done a really nice job guarding Sullinger. Got a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. And he's played a lot of minutes, run the court well.
25 for Thomas, 3-point game.
It's been Michigan in this game that's gotten the fast break points. 8-0, and usually Ohio State scores 18 points in a game off of turnovers, and Michigan has not turned the ball over in this one.
Novak thought about it. Shot clock at 15. Game clock now at 3 minutes.
Nice job by Thomas of staying down on that little up fake by Zach Novak.
Morgan inside. Got his own miss, and they can reset.
It also makes Ohio State play defense for about 70 seconds.
Mentioned Morgan, a double-double now, 11 points, 10 rebounds. No call on Sullinger. John Beilein hollering out a play from the bench. 2.5 to go. Novak, step back, jumper. Boy, he and Douglas have hit a couple of tough shots in the last couple of minutes.
Boy, both of them step backs and both of them gutsy.
And both of them seniors.
And both of them from Indiana. So they know how to shoot.
Back to 5. Back to 3.
Well, he's got great feet. That might not have been his most graceful move, but not a lot of big guys can be off balance and make that shot.
Let's take a look at the jump shots that Michigan has made at or near the end of the shot clock in a couple of recent possessions.
Boy, Douglas, that little step back, that is a difficult shot, fading away. And his counterpart, we had them both on College Game Day this morning, the know your teammate, and these two teammates know how to shoot it. Another step back on the other side of the floor by his compatriot, Zach Novak.
Tomorrow, ABC and ESPN team up to bring you 3 NBA games. It all starts with Kia NBA Countdown at 12:30 Eastern on ABC. At 1 Eastern, it's the Mavericks and the Knicks. You can get a look at Jeremy Lin as they try to bounce back from a loss last night. At 3:30 Eastern, Miami and Orlando. With that on ESPN tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, Denver and Oklahoma City. The NBA on ABC and ESPN tomorrow. 2 minutes to go. Michigan with the lead in the ball.
One possession game, and Ohio State doesn't need to do anything crazy here. Just play good, solid defense. The one thing you don't want to do is foul. You've got 5 team fouls. You don't want to foul here. You only have 5 team fouls. Why do you want to give them a new clock? Then it takes your opportunity to foul again toward the end of the game.
Buford called for the foul. Second on him, 6th on the team.
Now the next foul puts him in the 1-on-1.
Morgan will take it. And down with the rebound. No, it's a travel as Smith lost his footing.
I think Thad Matta thinks he lost his footing because he was bumped.
You're right about the time of possession. It seems like Michigan's had the ball for about 3/4 of this game.
No question. I mean, we talk about Ohio State wearing Michigan down. I think it's been a little bit of the other way around. How about that count didn't come off. Ted Valentine took it off, but it was on the whole time.
Should have had a 5-second call. Burke, yes! What a drive by Burke in spite of all the pressure from Kraft.
Well, that was a tremendous play by Trey Burke. Well, you're being guarded by what I consider to be the best on-ball defender in the country. Get all the way to the rim.
Kraft. And it is Michigan ball. No foul. Clean block off Kraft out of bounds.
I would say no call, not no foul.
Duly noted.
Well, you better be a man in this game.
And now Kraft with a takedown. That'll be the 4th on Kraft, and Michigan will go to the free throw line, 1-1 for Burke.
With Burke with Aaron Kraft all over him on that last drive. What a tremendous play by the freshman. Got the angle on him and was able to finish it with his right hand moving to his left. That is a big-time play. Now Aaron Kraft going to the bucket. Oh, there was no foul there. Come on. That's the Big Ten, baby.
Aaron Kraft's facial expression says it all. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Aaron Andrews back here in Ann Arbor. If Michigan can win this game, what does it mean for the program?
I think it's just another step forward. You know, this program has come a long way under John Beilein. You know, their facilities are beautiful. Everything's on an upswing. They have a magnificent recruiting class coming in next year, led by Mitch McGarry and by Glenn Robinson Jr. But they talk about winning a championship, and you know the players prepare to bring championship effort every day in practice. They talk about it, but to have this championship, playing for it right here, it makes the rest of the games even that much more important. But to have to be in Chrysler Arena, have this kind of atmosphere, it's what they've been building for.
Let's look at the schedules the rest of the way for these two programs. Right now, as we mentioned, Ohio State and Michigan State are a game ahead of Michigan in the Big Ten. Michigan State is at Purdue tomorrow. You see that Ohio State still has to play Wisconsin and go to Michigan State. Michigan, relatively speaking, has an easier schedule, Jay, although 3 of the 4 games are on the road.
Yeah, that's the problem. They've got some ats in front. Northwestern will be a difficult team to play at Northwestern. You know, Illinois reeling right now, but that can certainly turn around because they're a very talented team.
Burke, a big miss at the line on the front end of the 1-and-1.
Don't need a 3 here, although you wouldn't turn it down.
Knocked out of bounds by Burke. Ohio State ball.
You still think that Jared Sullinger needs to touch it because Michigan's not going to want to foul here.
Kraft. And is fouled by Burke. 2 free throws coming for Kraft.
Boy, why do you foul there? If he makes it 2, so what?
That's his second. Team 10.
Right now, John Beilein may be telling that, but really trying to keep him in the game. Don't worry about it. Think about the next play. Because even if Kraft makes both these, it's still a 3-point game.
Aaron Andrews has more.
Well, and just to add right there, and John Beilein talking to Trey Burke. Trey Burke did look back at his coach and say, my bad, my bad. And before the game, Trey actually telling me, guys, mental toughness, and I really do have to keep my poise. Emotional game, obviously, for him. We talked about it. Playing against his best friend and also a team where he's from in Columbus.
All right, Aaron, thank you. For Michigan now, Jay Smotrich in for Morgan, a 76% free throw shooter, replaces a 50% free throw shooter.
Yeah, that's why he made the substitution, get a better free throw shooter and a better ball handler in Evan Smotrich out on the floor. You're going to burn clock here.
Only about a 7-second difference between the game clock and shot clock.
Thad Matta electing not to foul. Going to play this one out. That's a big gamble.
That is a gamble. Down by 3.
Score here, you end it.
And Burke does. What a night for the freshman. Kraft for 3. Ball still live. Sullinger no. And Michigan wins. Unbeaten at home this year, and they also snap a 6-game losing streak against Ohio State. And both of these programs are now 10-4 in the Big Ten. Michigan State, for the moment, alone on top at 10-3. They are at Purdue tomorrow. A typical low-scoring, physical, gutted-out kind of win here for the Big Ten. And Trey Burke really stepped up and played some great ball here tonight.
Well, Trey Burke did a terrific job in controlling the game with his dribble. But how about the play of guys like Stu Douglas and Zach Novak? Novak taking charges, battling inside as the two former teammates from Northland High School, Sullinger and Burke, share a little hug. Just a great win for Michigan in a really tough game.
Burke with 17 points and 5 assists in the game, overshadowing a huge night by Deshaun Thomas, who finished with 25 points and 13 rebounds. Jared Sullinger finished with 14 points, 8 rebounds in a very hard-earned and tough night for him. Aaron Andrews is with Trey Burke.
Well, you told me before the game this is going to come down to mental toughness. Your coach said you guys just need to go for it. In your mind, what was the key to finish this game off?
Just keeping them off the boards. You know, last game they killed us on the offensive boards, and tonight, you know, we did a good job of doubling down on Jared and getting people off the backside boards.
And speaking of Jared, he's getting a little frustrated. I saw you guys, John, back and forth with each other. How did you counter him in the paint tonight? What was key?
Just doubling him when he wasn't looking. You know, we knew that he was going to try to get some buckets down the stretch, and that's what he did. You know, he's a great player, but you know, we did a good job of bringing backside help and doubling down on the post, and you know, we came out with the victory.
We're going to get a smile out of you here. Listen to how loud it is. 17 points, the game high, and you beat these guys. What was working for you?
Just making plays for my team. You know, first half, Coach Jordan told me to slow down. You know, I was kind of sped up out there in the second half. I just knew that I had to slow down and, you know, be poised just to make plays for my team down the stretch. You know, we came out with the victory.
We talked about before the game how competitive you are with Jared. What's the first thing you say to him when you get in touch with him?
Payback. You know, that's, you know, he was talking to me after they won. You know, that's just what the two brothers do. You know, blood couldn't make us any closer. You know, just getting a win tonight, you know, sweet.
All right, thanks so much. Dan, over to you. I can't hear anything.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Trey Burke summoning the wisdom of Digger Phelps there with the payback reference as Michigan avenges an earlier defeat to Ohio State. Great game by Burke and the Wolverines tonight as they win 56-51. For Jay Billis and Aaron Andrews, I'm Dan Schulman. Sports Center is coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Thanks for watching, and so long from Ann Arbor.